do you think is the biggest, the most valuable side?
Top left.
Top left, so like this? Here?
No, like for which?
So okay, this side, this side, this side, or this side?
For black or white.
For anyone.
Wouldn't black like to make an extension on the bow from the other two stones?
That's true, yes. So he says this side?
The top one.
Top side? Okay. Just guess.
Top side?
Top? Okay, so top and bottom. Okay, so let's reason this out. So these sides have an equal number of empty spaces right now, right? It's all the star point, star point, star point. This one is between two white and this one is white and black. Where's the worst, the least valuable side right now? Can you guys figure it out?
The left.
The left.
The bottom. Yeah. The bottom. Yeah.
Bottom. Any more guesses? Okay, so actually the left is the least valuable side right now. And here's why. There's less total spaces now for either player to make territory. And because this stone is on the third line, it means if anyone tries to, like, let's say white has a stone around here. If anyone tries to get any kind of big potential here, which would involve having a stone on the fourth line probably, right? Like, let's say like this. This one already undercuts this area. It's really hard to make territory here. Black can just play this, it's really annoying, and if white tries to defend the territory, then this is very inefficient. You have two stones in the same place here. It should be like this, or play here. So the simplest way is to first look at which is the emptiest area, okay? So the emptiest places are this one, and this one. These two actually are about the same. You can say they're equally valuable. If white gets a move around here, then this is going to work together really well, right? But also these two are like kind of, this side is kind of contested between the two colors. So you can say they're equally valuable. This is actually the most important side right now. And here's why. Imagine a black stone, something like this, okay? This looks just like any normal extension, right? Like this one. The difference is that if you just imagine this group for a moment, imagine it's like a wall. Let's say like this. Almost the same, right? This wall actually helps to box in this area. So you imagine later black might get a move here. Now it's very hard for white to play in here, and it's actually a lot of territory. But if you imagine that in somewhere else, white can still invade here, and white can still invade here, and there's still an approach move here. It's not as good as this one. So when you see this shape, or this shape, it makes this side more valuable and this side less valuable because it makes this side smaller. Okay, so I'll give you guys a little test. Black approaches here. White responds simply. Where should white play?
White should play P10.
P10. Here?
Bottom a bit.
Here, right
Yeah.
here. Okay, any other guesses? Okay, this is actually the same idea that I was just telling one of my students about. I was commenting one of his games online. He had the same idea. He would have said something like this is good. So here's why it's not. Here's why it's not the best. It looks like these stones are really working together, right? So your instinct is to build from what you already have, right? But you know, you see this shape here, it's actually kind of like It's kind of like this shape. And I said this shape makes this side smaller. This shape makes this side smaller. It literally makes it smaller. And also, it makes it very hard for black to get any major territory here. The best black can do, or hope for, is some kind of territory like this. That's really the best he can hope for. If they try to play some fourth line moves, like trying to build a bigger potential, nothing really comes of it. White can just mess it up like this. So this is part of the reason why we would say this is the small side. So actually, one of the most common moves you would see here, this one. And here's why. Suppose black plays this move, okay? This is very similar to something I just showed. Where's the big side? Where should white play?
Top.
Top, yeah, right? It's just like it's just like this one. We said this is the big side. So if black plays a move like this is a really big side. Okay, the reason again is because if we imagine black with another move, something like this, it's very hard now for white to play inside there. If white approaches normally, then black can play here to deprive white of corner base area. White must play here. And since black already has the reinforcement here, black can immediately start attacking this. So black can play something like this, or something else, or this side, whatever the board dictates. So this is pretty bad for white. So in fact, when you see this kind of formation, usually, especially in programs, usually white has a more special way of coming in, which is like something like this, or this. This is basically white saying, okay, I know I'm gonna get a bad result here, so I'm just gonna accept that and make the best of it. And if white plays something like this, it means white's kind of stopping black from getting the whole corner, which helps white to get a base. For example, if black responds here, now white can play here, right? It already looks better than this, right? This one has no eye space at all, right? So already white's almost alive. Black would have to block the corner to stop white from becoming alive, and then white can easily just run away. Now it's very hard to attack white severely. And if black tries to play something like this or anything, white can just play here and easily make eyes. Of course, white might respond at least once to this first, or maybe here. But basically, white's gonna have an easy time making two eyes. So, of course, it's gonna be still good for black. White gets barely any territory, right? But that's what happens when your opponent overwhelms the area with more stones. So for that reason, usually we try not to let black get both this one and this one. So the answer is, if black has something like this, we usually play here. And if they play this, we usually play around here. Okay? So it's actually very similar with this one. If black gets a move over here, then because this stone is here, it's very hard for white to build anything here. So when we see stones around here, or maybe, you know, like this, we tend to approach here. So in this case, even though these sides are equally valuable in terms of how big, how open the space is, this one is usually considered more important. Okay. Do you guys know this opening?